Welcome back to another garbage episode of Vigor. The reason I've decided this is going to be a garbage episode is because I've been up since 11 o'clock last night, and my brain doesn't work. So I'm probably not going to play this game very well, but that's okay. I still enjoy this game, and apparently you still wanted to click on the video, so, if this ends up not being very fun for you, it's your own fault. You probably watched the previous video, and it was garbage, so I don't know what you thought you were getting into. So I've decided to start an encounter. Let's check up on our challenges. I'm unlikely to get either of these, so that's okay. I'm not worried about it. On the battle pass, I'm making some progress. I'm getting up into the high 30s now, and I'm getting into the very high 30s in my legacy season. What have I just unlocked? Ooh, got some weird little glasses. What's the next thing that I'm going to unlock here? Oh, I think I've already got that. I already unlocked that by other means. Okay, cool. And then a fancy helmet. I'm getting real close to the end of this. Just got to get to 50, get this weird gas mask, and I'll be done with this legacy season. Okay, so we're headed into Fiske Fabriek. That's a challenging map. It's the reason I'm interested in Fiske Fabriek right now is because it's got some massive repositories of chemicals. And chemicals are what I'm short on right now. I need to get some more chemicals in order to unlock the second to last upgrade to my workshop or workbench or whatever it's called. So I'm going to be going after as many chemicals as I can. Chemicals are kept near the boss's office, up in the top corner of the map, really far away from most of the exits. So whenever I go up there, I'm taking my life in my hands. And also, other people are aware that that's a really good place to get chemicals, and so they sometimes try to join me. Good, yes. Hugoose needs to give us as much, spend as much money on us as he can. It looks like we've got about half noobs and half not noobs on this map. Let's see. Okay, so this is somebody who looks like a noob, but he's brought in his fancy gun, so I don't know what to expect with this guy. Yeah, some of them have pretty decent equipment. Person with a silver pigeon does not intimidate me at all. So, okay. We've got about it feels like maybe we've got a moderate threat level here with these opponents. Steve-O wants to know what time it is over here. Right now it is 5:30 p.m. On Pacific time in the United States. So, oh, good. Oh, crap. I'm right near the place I want to be, but it's got the timed safe, which means everybody else wants to be here too. Garbage. All right. Well, here's what you're going to see. You're going to see me try to rush the timed safe, because if I can make the timed safe irrelevant by telling everyone on the map that it's already been opened, fewer people will converge on it and compete with me for it. And that means I'll get into fewer conflicts. However, at least one person is definitely going to come here, possibly more. And now they know I'm here because I decided to fire that off. But since I'm very likely to get into a fight with someone and die, I figure I might as well get as many experience points as I can. So turning on that device definitely gets you experience points. So I'm not going to bother collecting anything right now because I'm expecting to die. Okay, here's one switch. I'm not going to set it off yet because I want to know where the other one is. And until I know where the other one is, ooh, I can hear gunshots. People are killing each other on the way here. The more they kill each other on the way here, the fewer of them I have to fight, which is great. All right. So what I have to do to open a timed safe is, two switches. This switch, and where was the other one? I'm running around. It wasn't outside. It was over here. Yeah, I see it. So I'm running around, stomping my little feet, making a whole bunch of noise. Okay, it's unlocked now, but everyone still knows I haven't had time to loot it yet. So people who were interested in the timed safe are definitely still on their way. I haven't even found the safe yet. I don't know exactly where it is. Is it in here? A bunch of lockers in here. It might be in the boss's office. I don't remember. Oh, there's something else good in here. Right there. Red chest. Do not want it right now because I need, before I open that chest, I need to... Oh, there it is. Okay, I've got everything out of this, but somebody might still be coming to kill me. Ooh. So what I need to do before I take that chest, because I'm so far away from every exit, except for the expensive exit. There's an exit right here that I have to spend 5 fuel to get out of. So if I had 5 fuel, which I don't think I do, I've got 1 fuel. If I had 5 fuel, I could just grab the red chest and run to that exit and hope for the best. However, the other option is for me to find a comm station. Oh, somebody used the signals detector. They're up here. They know that I'm... No! Wait. Is it... Okay, yes. The disruptive tower wore off. They know I'm in here. So they might be coming for me. If I can get down to this comm station and turn off either that comm station or this comm station might actually even be safer to get to since that guy probably won't be in the way. If I can get to a comm station and turn on stealth, then I can theoretically come back here to the boss's office, grab that red chest, and run. Because I know that it's there. No one else knows it's there. However, everyone knows that the timed safe is here. And so other people might be coming here for the timed safe, and they might very easily... Oh, what's that? Somebody set off an alarm trap. Very close. People are uncomfortably close to me right now. This is making me upset. Because there's... Okay, so this building is full of these lockers, and the lockers are full of chemicals. And so I can just sneak around in here, look around every corner, make sure nobody's coming for me, collect as many chemicals as I can, and then if I wait until the very end of the game, or the very end of the match, if no one has come up here, and then I might be able to assume that they are all converging on the exits, which means they're moving away from the exit that I want to use. And then maybe if I can find some fuel...
Don't let the killer escape.
Ooh, there's a
They have been
threat.
marked as a threat.
Okay, so this person killed 4 people. And there were only, like, what, 12 people on this map? So he's killed a third of my opposition already. Ooh. Hold on. We got a photo. That is really far away from me. I think that might be near the Lost Patrol. I'm not sure. But that's far away from me. I'm not going to attempt to get that. And since I'm not going to attempt it, I don't need it in my inventory. Goodbye. So, yeah. So, it's been a while since it said time safe unlocked. So, it's entirely possible that everyone is assuming the time safe is already got, and the person who got it has escaped. Except for the one person who used the comm tower. Who might have been the threat. Okay, so now I've got the threat getting closer to the comm tower. Yeah, sorry, not comm tower, the signals detector. So yeah, he knows I'm here. He probably suspects that I'm the one who got the time safe. He's probably motivated to come after me. But it doesn't seem like he's not relying on personal signals detectors. Which means that if he starts getting close to me, I might be able to run in the other direction and evade him because he's visible. Ooh, those are multiple people converging on... He is converging on me right now. Okay, so what do I do? Okay, so he... Oh, he hid his own map marker. Of course he did. So he's after me. He's hidden his own map marker. And so now the question is... I mean, okay, this guy's killed 4 other people. He can definitely kill me. That is not in question. If I encounter him... I mean, what do you bet he's got an armor plate? What do you bet there's a lot of reasons why I will have trouble facing this guy. However, I can't stop doing what I'm doing. But he might be assuming that I have not figured out he's coming. So he might be assuming that I am still holding still. He might be going inside, and maybe sneaking around the outside will let me evade him. Or maybe not. I mean, people who are good at this game are very good at predicting my behavior. And so I don't really know what to expect from this guy. I mean, maybe he's just going to run straight into that building. And maybe by leaving the building, I'll be able to evade him. Or maybe he will outthink me. And I will be in massive trouble. I don't know. What I'm going to try to do is make myself not very visible from the building. So once he realizes I'm not in there and he comes out, maybe he won't see me immediately. So I'm going to head down this way. So one thing that I do not have right now is that red chest. And if he's doing a thorough search of that building, I mean, he's already visible. There's no motivation for him to avoid that red chest. I had a motivation to avoid it, because if I grabbed it, everyone would see me, and I would have trouble surviving my escape. But he's already visible to everyone and doesn't care. So...
The plane is coming. Prepare to fight for the airdrop.
So my whole motivation to be coming over here to approach a drop, I mean, sorry, to approach a comm station, this might be pointless. He might already... Yeah, okay, he is up there. He might be grabbing the red chest. And if he's grabbing the red chest, you know what? That's fine. He can have it. It's just a common chest. Who cares? You get so many common chests. Just playing shootouts badly. Okay, this is actually an interesting balance issue with this game. Oh, actually, you know what? I don't think the comm stations work anymore after the airdrop just came. I don't think the comm stations work anymore. So I think... Oh, crap. I hear somebody. The comm station doesn't do anything anymore. You know, he can have that red chest. It's totally fine. I don't care. I heard somebody's footsteps. They were on dirt. Not on... Oh, there they go. So I don't know why they were going that way, but it didn't work out for them. Now the question is, me going after their corpse. Is this going to be a bad plan too? I don't know why they were going this way. So I assume their corpse is under here. Ah, yes, there we go. Boink. Got everything. Usually when I pick up a new gun, I like to load that gun. Partly because it takes some ammo out of my inventory, and partly just so that I can switch to it if I ever need it. Okay, so now we're getting perilously close to the end of the match. Let's get into a safe space here. Okay, this is potentially a good exit area for me. Oh, interesting. He's got the airdrop over there too. He could leave with 2 airdrops at once. Somebody might be waiting here to ambush people. They also might be waiting here. People wait here less often. I've been ambushed here a lot more than I've been ambushed here. So I think I might actually want to start making a run for it across the terrain. I've got some caffeine, which means that I can run continuously with my heavy load. If I had adrenaline, I could actually nix out the effects of my heavy load, which would be great. I don't have that, though. I'm banking on the idea that there will be fewer people out here on the open land. You're more visible out on the open land, but also there's fewer reasons to be here. Oh, he used the signal detector to see who was around. But I think I'm far enough away that even if he runs after me, even if he makes a beeline for me, he can't catch me, and he can't get into range to shoot me. So I'm just going to keep moving. I'm not going to check the container. Okay, what's the best way down this? I guess like that. So it's entirely possible that somebody is along this route. Somebody will hear my footsteps coming, lay an ambush for me, and I'll just be murdered right on the way out. That happens all the time. And whenever I'm running across the terrain like this, the reason I'm running, I would normally be creeping all the time, but you can hear that ticking sound? That's the radiation storm coming in. And so that means I'm going to start dying very soon unless I can get out of here. Oh, there is somebody over there. Are they going to escape, or are they going to lay an ambush? It looks like they're going to escape. Okay, good. Man. Oh, wait. I think... Is that just them celebrating? How does this work? I think I just saw them enter the 10 seconds and you're gone area. And so I'm pretty sure they're gone now. And they can't be a threat to me. And yes, no crows. No crows, so there's nobody around. Whew. Okay, yeah, so I always psychologically prepare myself for getting ambushed whenever I'm headed for the exit, especially if I'm running because the radiation is starting. Because you have to, because it's so disappointing if you've got a big load of inventory and you get to the exit and somebody murders you. So you have to psychologically prepare yourself. Whew. Okay. So, I'm so sorry, chat, by the way, that I did not read a single thing you said, because I've just been so tense and worried that this threat guy was going to get me. Let me catch up here a little bit. Oh, so Brian Menard is asking, what would I think about a PvP mode in State of Decay that's kind of like what we just saw in Vigor, where people enter some kind of zombie-controlled zone and try to compete with each other for loot like this? Now that I've started playing this kind of shooter, part of me thinks that if we ever did a PvP mode in State of Decay, it absolutely should be this kind of game. Should we do one? Open question. I mean, it is expensive to run one of these. You have to, sort of run dedicated servers and things, which, it means you have to make money, which means you have to sort of, twist the design of your game in order to support making money. There's a lot of things that, we haven't really gone that direction with the franchise yet. And so that would make me a little bit nervous. I'm not sure it would be a good idea for the franchise. And definitely, a lot of people, play our game because it's a friendly co-op game where all of the enemies are not other humans who are going to be griefing you and making fun of you. And people really kind of don't like it when modding griefers, attract them into their games and do weird things to their characters. And so I don't know if our community would really want something. I mean, it's certainly... there are definitely certain members of our community who would want a multiplayer competitive game. But I don't know if everyone at large would want it. And so I'm not sure it would be a good investment. But if we did a multiplayer game like that, I would definitely advocate for it to be this kind of game. This kind of game. Extraction shooters feel like they're the right kind of fit for State of Decay 2 if we decided to do it. But, I definitely would not guarantee that we would ever want to do it at all. So Cloudcraft says, when he quotes me from earlier in the session where I was like, people are uncomfortably close, this is making me upset. Cloudcraft says, that's just me in public. Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah, I totally know where you're coming from there. So Typed Metal asked earlier on, and I can tell that Typed Metal probably figured this out. Is this a PvP game? Yes, it is. Though it is a game where you can, if you're clever with your stealth, avoid conflict. Which is the perfect PvP game for me, right? Because, conflict is fun, but also avoiding it is even more fun. And so I'm pretty, the way that I think about this game when I'm playing it is I usually am trying to get away with not getting into any conflict with people at all. You do get experience for conflict, but you can absolutely progress and excel in this game without ever shooting anyone at all. But, it means like the big ticket items that are scattered across the map usually lead to conflict. Usually people converge on them and get into fights. Certainly that threat guy was trying to come for the timed safe and was trying to come for me. He knew I was there. He had killed 4 people already. He was confident that he was going to be able to kill me and take whatever I had taken out of the timed safe. And so I was able to evade him by like watching that he was coming in, figuring out that he was probably going to come in the front door, charging around, and if I came out the side and snuck around, I could get away with all that stuff without ever having to fight him at all. And the only person I did fight was somebody who made themselves an easy target by jumping in the water for no reason. And so that's the kind of PvP I like, where it's like opportunistically, if I'm clever with my stealth, I get to get the drop on people, and sometimes people will get the drop on me. But it doesn't really depend on me like, bunny hopping around and being like an athlete about it. I don't like that kind of combat, which is one reason why I stopped playing the Cycle Frontier, is because it does have that kind of combat where it's like, oh, somebody gets a drop on somebody else and they shoot them, but that only starts a Halo-like battle where you're jumping around and trying to shoot each other, where I always lose those. I'm just not good at that kind of combat, and so not as much of a fan. This feels much more like State of Decay with some of the time to kill of like a game like Call of Duty, which feels much more like it's up my alley. So, La Coalition is inviting me to play Elimination with his team. I'm always just extra cautious about playing games online with people. It's a social anxiety thing, which I'm sure Cloudcraft and a lot of other people here kind of understand. Like, I don't like jumping into games where other people depend on me, unless they're total strangers that I can forget about the moment I leave. So I think I really appreciate the invite, and I like the idea in theory, but I think I'm not going to, especially because I'm just exhausted right now. I can't deal with anything. I can barely handle the fact that I'm streaming. Yeah, so Cloudcraft says, I feel like one of the bigger hurdles with designing these games is that failure is very punishing, but you often have to spend a lot of time playing between the bits that feel rewarding. Yeah, exactly. So it's like you go into the level, and in order for like the session to be rewarding, you have to get a lot of stuff, and getting a lot of stuff takes a lot of time. And that means that if you get killed late in your session, you're like, I spent all that time for nothing. One of the things I like about Vigor is the fact that they do give you experience just for looting things. So when you leave a game after having looted a bunch of stuff and having interacted with a bunch of things, you don't get as much experience for just having looted them compared with what you would have gotten if you escape with everything intact. But you do get something. And so when you get to that sort of like that screen where it summarizes all of your experience gains and stuff like that, you still see something. You still see that you got progress and you did not waste your time. And I really appreciate that, because there have been sometimes where I've gotten like really frustrated, like really frustratingly killed by like an exit camper, for instance. And I'm like, it's like everyone, I'm dying of radiation. They have iodine. They've got a lot of health. I've got no health. I'm out of bullets from previous fights, and they just annihilate me. I'm like, I didn't even feel like I had a chance, and I had a full backpack, and it's really frustrating. But then I see that screen, and it said, hey, you looted all this stuff. You didn't get away with it, but you looted all this stuff. Here's some experience for you. And that's actually a little comforting at the end, and it's a better experience than Cycle Frontier, where I'll get eliminated, and there's a few things I could have accomplished that maybe earned me some experience in the moment, but all I get is negative feedback really from the moment of getting killed in the Cycle Frontier. And so that amps up my frustration level kind of past the points of toleration after a while. The Coalition points out, what I love about Vigor is how it doesn't force you to attack other players, how it feels rewarding, and the progress in your shelter feels really good without you having to kill other players to feel like you're getting something out of the experience. Yeah, and I like that too. Like, even though, it's weird, in the Cycle Frontier, because death was so punishing, I would actively try to avoid conflict by like talking to people. Like I would use push to talk and be like, hey, I'm friendly, please don't fight me, and try to get out of it. In the in Vigor, because the punishingness of it is much lower, I actually feel more willing to just try out combat. Like I take the risk way more often. Like if I see somebody sort of running directly away from me, and starting a fight with them might actually just be pointless, then I'll usually let them go. But if I see somebody coming towards me, and I think there's a decent chance we'll end up encountering each other eventually anyway, I will attack them, and I'll try to get the drop on them. But I don't feel as weird about it. I don't feel like I'm hurting them as much, and I don't feel like they're potentially hurting me as much. And so I like that. I like that it's just it feels more casual and friendly. So Blitz says that a nice shelf. I like your setup. I need to clean up my desk. I've got too much garbage. Like I've got like my PS5 manuals, and my old PS4 controller that I haven't put away yet, and some extra batteries sitting here in case I need them. And I think this is the file folder that has like my kids' like social security cards in it. So I should put some stuff away. My office is actually a little bit embarrassing, but I'm glad you like my shelves, because I do have some fun stuff on display. You got the Voltron and the Butthole Tiger over here. Showing off some fun books and boxes and Lego sets over here. I do try to think about what I put up here, so I'm glad that you appreciate it. Thank you for saying something, Blitz. Zedric says, I just kept dying in Vigor over and over, so I stopped playing. Reasonable. So I think that Vigor is more on my wavelength. Different shooters are sometimes on my wavelength or off my wavelength. That's how I describe it. It's hard to explain. It's just like a combination of the mechanics will make a particular shooter easier or harder for me to play. Cycle Frontier is hard for me to play. It's hard for me to be good at that game. Vigor is more on my wavelength, and it's easier for me to be good at it. But I think there's going to be people out there for whom the opposite is true, who find Vigor's combat frustrating, and who might find the Cycle's combat exactly what they're looking for. And so for me, Vigor is in a good sweet spot where it feels, like I said, a lot like State of Decay 2 in some ways, a lot like Call of Duty in other ways. And both of those together, that's kind of my sweet spot. And so this feels like it was made for me. And so I do okay. I obviously, I don't win all the time. Last episode, I just got killed just right off the bat in my first session. But I do okay enough in combat that I still feel good about it. I feel hopeful about it, and it doesn't frustrate me the same way that the cycle does, where I just feel like I lose every time. I think I've killed a total of like 3 people after playing the cycle for hours and hours and hours. So I sucked at that game, and I did get frustrated with it and stopped playing the same way Zedric is talking about with Vigor. Coalition, no, I have not played the arcade game in the shelter. I should try that. I think I'm about ready to quit streaming, and so I shouldn't try it right now. But we should do a session where all I do is play the arcade game in the shelter and find out what that's like. So Coalition, Coalition was pointing this out to me earlier, and I should showcase this. So he was pointing out that they changed the over in the store. Where's the store? Is the store? Where is the store? This is the store. I'm trying to... Okay, what is this icon? It's a wallet. That's what the icon is for the store. It's a wallet. Of course it is. Okay. So, yeah. So he was pointing out that the premium packs, of which I have bought one, I bought the Vigor starter pack, they now have a new way that they display their contents that actually, it probably took a lot of work to make these. And so when he said they look really, really cool, you should check them out. And I was like, oh, sure, whatever. And I did check them out. And I was actually surprised at how impressed I was. Oh, wait, this is not the button. No. Don't shoot people my credit card information. You garbage. No. Okay, hold on. The X button is the button, not the A button. The A button tries to purchase it. That's not what we're doing. The X button is what shows you what's in the pack. So basically, you can navigate these little circles on the left that show you these are the things you unlock. These are skins for weapons. These are weapons themselves. These are, resources, ammo, customization options, that sort of thing. But as you're navigating them, it's moving a camera around to different positions in a 3D scene. And so you get to see them in context and see them looking at their absolute coolest. Let's go over here, Path of Vengeance. By the way, anyone who wears this outfit right here in a shootout, they're a jerk and they're annoying. I don't like them. I don't know what it is. Something about people who wear this, who saw this, is that yes, this is what I want to look like when I'm playing shootouts. These people are obnoxious. So if you ever see that and you're playing Vigor, just be ready to be annoyed at that person. I was recently somebody in this outfit was camping in an encounter. They were camping the comms tower. So they kept using the comms tower to tell people somebody was there. And occasionally they would make noise or something to try to get people to come over there. They were hiding in this outfit under some bushes, just watching. And it was a comms tower that's up in a sniper post in Grantham Valley. And so what that means is you have to climb a ladder to get to it. So while they would not shoot you, not engage you while you're running around, they would wait till you got on the ladder and then shoot you from the ladder when you couldn't possibly turn around and defend yourself. And I was like, I hate you to this person. And they were dressed like this. And so I was like, yeah, this is what jerks dress like. Coalition says that he calls those people mop face. And I agree. That's an excellent term for them, calling them mop face. But yeah, so this stuff is kind of cool. I really like this. So somebody had to build each of these 3D environments, which, are they're not visible from every angle, so they probably built them a little bit like a diorama. But they had to set up all these camera positions. Somebody had to set up these very smooth camera moves to see all of these items. But yeah, this took a lot more work than you would usually put into something like this. But I appreciate, they're basically if we're going to ask you to spend money on this, you should really get to examine it closely and understand what you're getting. And so they put a lot of work into making something, into making sort of a selling screen for this stuff that really gives you a sense of what the stuff is. So I appreciate that. So I think that's probably a good thing to end on. Oh, by the way, this music is probably getting pretty loud. So yeah, Coalition, thank you for pointing that out, because I honestly never would have looked at this otherwise. But yeah, I appreciate that. Wrath of Court is like, $40 for cosmetics? That's a whole game. I don't understand the pricing of free-to-play games. Like, yes, some of the things that people charge for are very exorbitant. And, I'm always, when I'm playing these kinds of games, I always am looking for screaming deals. I want to, I do want to spend money on them if I'm spending a lot of time on them, because I feel like it, if you're entertaining me, I do want to eventually at some point give you money. But I usually look for something that feels like an efficient use of my cash. And usually, like, $40 for a handful of cosmetics that, primarily are associated with jerks in the game doesn't seem like a good sell to me. But, whatever. People spend money on them, so I'm not going to begrudge other people what they evaluate as being worth their time. Definitely, I mean, sometimes I get into a match with somebody who will spend, like, hundreds of crowns on one match, just upping the value of the prizes for everybody else. And I'm like, and themselves too, but I'm just like, how much money do you have that one 20-minute session is worth you spending several dollars on this? Like, I'm just like, it blows my mind sometimes. But people make different amounts of money. They value their money in different ways, and I'm not going to begrudge them the fact that I got more loot out of that session because they wanted to spend a bunch of extra money. Which actually, honestly, one of my favorite things about spending money in Vigor is the fact that it's session-based and they let people contribute to improving the entire session for everyone. That's actually one of the best ways that you can give. If you're going to put regular hard currency purchases that people can make in your game where you feel like they're going to be shoveling money into the game at a regular pace like that, having them spend it on something that benefits people who are not spending money is a really, really great way to do it. It's really, a really ethical way to do it, right? Because what you're doing is you're basically saying, yeah, if you happen to be, Captain Moneybags, and you just you're a whale and you're willing to spend arbitrary amounts of money on this game, let's give you a way to do it that makes the game better for everyone, not just you. And makes people actually, like, grateful to have that person in the game instead of resenting that person because they've spent money and have an edge in the game. Because usually you resent them. If you're a free player, you'll resent the money spenders because they have a competitive edge and they make the game harder for you, and they basically use you as entertainment that they have paid for. And it makes you feel like, you're one of the people in the Hunger Games or something. Like, you're out there risking your life, risking everything, and other people are paying money to enjoy your suffering. That feels a little weird. Instead, it turns that dynamic around and makes you grateful that Captain Moneybags is in your game, because if you can successfully avoid getting killed by them, sometimes just by, like, hanging out in a corner of the map that nobody else is in, you get a bunch more stuff for it, and you're just glad that they were there. So it's a really great way to sort of foster a pro-social dynamic in your community. So I really like that. Sarah, I think that would be good. Like, Sarah is suggesting that it would be cool if State of Decay 2 had some kind of up-close model viewer like that, where you could actually see your weapons up close without having to do, like, camera tricks or something to, like, get the camera close. Or, if we had a photo mode, that would be nice. You could use that to get an up-close look at things. But yeah, no, I agree that would be cool. And yeah, there's you're not the only person who said that, and I agree that would be a cool feature. Okay, my lungs are actually starting to hurt from talking so much, which might be related to the fact that I had COVID recently. But, Coalition, I agree. I would love to have a photo mode in the game. Everyone agrees that a photo mode would be good. Anyway, let's wrap this up. Here's a subscribe button. Here's links to other videos, and I still love Vigor. If I play more of it, I'll stick a video right there eventually.